welcome back to Teaching Them. I'm Michael Keats, and I have a game for you today. And this game is to illustrate the story from Matthew chapter 17 about Jesus paying the temple tax. So I would kind of run it like this. I'd read the story first, and I'd say, hey kids, we're going to read a story, and it's going to be about a time that Jesus did a really crazy miracle. So from Matthew chapter 17, starting in verse 24. On their arrival in Capernaum, the collectors of the temple tax came to Peter and asked him, "Does your teacher pay the temple tax?" "Yes, he does," Peter replied. Then he went into the house. But before he had a chance to speak, Jesus asked him, "What do you think, Peter? Do kings tax their own people or the people that they have conquered?" "They tax the people they have conquered," Peter answered. "Well then," Jesus said, "the citizens are free. However, we don't want to offend them, so go down to the lake, throw in a line, open the mouth of the first fish you catch, and you will find a large silver coin. Take it and pay the tax for both of us." This is a crazy story. Jesus is doing quite a few things in a very compact moment right here, and I'm going to point those out. But also, I think it's funny that Matthew is the one who tells us this story. Matthew was a tax collector before he came to follow Jesus, and he's the only one of the four gospel writers who writes about this particular story. So first thing, Peter is asked, did Jesus pay the temple tax? And he says, of course, but he doesn't really know. So we got a question. Was Peter being fully honest here? I don't think he knew the answer to that question, or if he did know the answer, he knew that Jesus had not paid the temple tax. And so Peter was not being fully honest here. But so he comes into the room where Jesus is, and Jesus immediately starts the dialogue, and he lets him know that he knew that the tax collectors had appeared to him. Now, it could be that Jesus overheard the conversation outside the house, and that he was aware of what they had asked Peter. That's possible. But it could also be that Jesus is showing that he is God, and that he sometimes has special knowledge of things that other people would not have knowledge of. The Holy Spirit could have imparted this knowledge to him, and that's the way that he knew that the tax collectors had approached Peter. But so he takes the initiative and he says, "Peter, what do you think? Did the king's children pay the taxes, or do other people pay the taxes?" And the answer is, well, king's children are exempt. They don't have to pay taxes. So what is Jesus doing here? He's showing that he is God, or at least that he's the Son of God. And since God is the owner of the temple, the temple is there to worship God, then God's kids don't have to pay taxes. So that's one thing that Jesus is trying to assert, is that I am the Son of God, or he may even be saying, I'm the King of Kings, and as king, I don't have to pay the temple tax. And because we're all children of God, anyone who's following Jesus, we don't have to pay the temple tax either. But so that I don't offend, here's what you're going to do. So Jesus was careful to balance very carefully his sovereignty and not having to pay the temple tax, but also his humility. To be willing to submit to the local authorities so that he didn't cause offense. So he handled this very well. But notice that he didn't actually pay the tax because he got the coin from the fish. And so it wasn't out of his pocket that he paid the tax. So he kind of skirted the issue, paid the tax without actually having to pay the tax. Very interesting. So then the next thing that he's doing is he's kind of being playful with Peter. He's sending a fisherman out to fish. Now, who would know better than a fisherman that you don't find coins in the mouth of fish? I'm sure Peter had never found a coin in the mouth of a fish before. And so that's a little playful, maybe showing us Jesus's sense of humor. And also to find a 4 drachma coin, which the Children's Bible doesn't call it that, but other translations do. To find that exact coin that Jesus said would be in there, in the very first fish that he catches. What a miracle. Jesus is showing that he has sovereignty over all of creation, and that if he wants a fish to have a 4 drachma coin in its mouth, that he can make that happen. So very fun story, and I hope the kids are really entertained by it. So now we're going to play a game, and the game is going to be with a pool full of fish. You can see my pool full of fish right there. So all of these fish have magnets on them. And some of these fish have coins taped to them. So about 8 of the fish have a coin taped underneath it, but you can't tell because of the way that I've arranged them. You can't tell. And I've got a fishing pole, and the fishing pole has a magnet. It's got a little turtle. I don't know why it has a turtle, but the turtle has a little magnet at the end. So it will pick up the fish like so. Now, this fish does not have a coin attached to it. So the game is this, that the kids will go fishing. You can give them 1 turn, you can give them 3 turns, however many turns you want to give them before they have to pass it along. Allow them to catch several fish and pull them out. And if there's a coin at the bottom of it, then they get to keep it for themselves. And whoever has the most fish with coins at the end wins. But if it doesn't have a coin, they've got to put it back, and then they got to go fish again. And so they're going to go catch another fish. No coin on that one. So that's 2 turns for me. Let's see. I'm going to try this one. I caught a fish with a coin taped to it. So that means I get to keep that one. And there are 8 of them. So once you catch all 8 fish, then the game's over. So this is a lot of fun to play with them. They'll have fun kind of trying to catch the fish. You got to have enough fish to conceal the 8 that have the coin at the bottom to make it interesting, but they'll have fun with it, and you can play it multiple times if you want to. If they catch all 8 fish with the coins pretty fast, then you can go again and let somebody else try and see how well you do. So this little fish pool, I just bought it off of Amazon. They had a kit with this little swimming pool and all the fish already had magnets on them. But what you could do, and what I've done in the past, is I've actually created the fish. I printed out just kind of flat fish, pictures of fish, and then I tape magnets on them and tape the coins to them, and then just arrange them. If you don't have a kiddie pool, you can just put them on the floor. You don't have to have a kiddie pool. That's just visual. And then for the pole, I took a dowel rod, just a long dowel rod, and I taped a string to one end, and I taped a magnet to the other end, and that's how they caught the fish. And that works just as well, and you don't have to maybe spend as much money getting it. So I hope you'll have fun with this. The kids in my experience have always enjoyed this kind of activity, and they've had a lot of fun with it. Leave me some comments. Let me know how it goes. If you want to print the lesson, and I even have printouts of fish that you can get in the lesson. You can find it at www.teachingthem.org. That's all for today. I'll see you next time. God bless you.